What if you could eat less and still feel full?
Wow.
Satiety is the feeling of fullness that tells your brain that you've had enough. Stop eating, and we can hack it with science. Drink a glass of fiber like Metamucil before your meal. It absorbs water, forms a gel, and increases volume in your stomach. That stretch reflex tells your brain you're full. In one study, people ate 10% fewer calories in their meal.
If you leave it sit for a while, it will gel up. That gelling is actually how it works in the body. So it travels through your body to remove the waste that weighs you down. So I don't recommend that you walk and watch a 30-minute TV show and then drink the rest of this. The first one is it helps you feel less hungry between meals. So when you take it, you feel more full. I personally take it before I go out to dinner, and I'm less inclined to have that bread at the beginning, and you just feel like eating less, which is great.
Start with a light broth or veggie soup. Same idea as fiber, more volume, very few calories. One study showed people ate about 20% less at their meal just by having soup first. Finally, reduce SOS, which are salt, oil, and sugar.
Are putting chemicals in your feed that fool your satiety mechanisms and lead to overeating.
Satiety mechanisms being mechanisms that tell you whether you're hungry or not.
Right, whether your brain signals you accurately that the amount of calories you have. If you, for example, just sit down and eat your fill of whole plant foods, you eat a certain amount and then you feel full. But if you put certain chemicals in the feed, you'll eat significantly more before you trigger those satiety mechanisms and feel full. Those chemicals that we put in our food are salt, oil, and sugar. Salt, oil, and sugar are not food. They're hyperconcentrated components derived from food that are put back into food. And we put them into food to make food taste better. And what tasting better actually means is it results in more stimulation of dopamine in your brain. Dopamine is the neurochemical associated with pleasure. The more dopamine, the more pleasure, the more you like it. And so it turns out that higher caloric density foods, or foods that have chemicals like salt, oil, and sugar in the food, will stimulate more dopamine in the brain. And that's because your brain evolved in an environment of scarcity. It evolved where it was difficult to get enough to eat and avoid being eaten. And so richer foods had more value. And so the people that recognize the value of more concentrated foods tend to live to reproduce and pass on their DNA. Today, we live in a world where we've corrupted the whole system. And so now we have unlimited amounts of hyperconcentrated foods with these chemicals like salt, oil, and sugar. So when you eat those foods, you will overeat. The only question is how much and what are the consequences.
So remember, fiber, soup, and less SOS. Eat smarter, stay satisfied, and you'll naturally eat less, no dieting required. Please follow along for more great science-based hacks.